And then this was when I threw everything, including the bathroom sink, at the fish game. Yeah, there was a sink. There was a sink today. Yeah, car tires. There are a lot of tires. I saw car tires that had no rock. What's that?
Hey, Brad, get that paper from Sisto for me whenever. Thank you, Stephen. Hey, everybody. We're going to get ready to go ahead and get this captain's meeting going on YouTube Live. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate Marty Hughes, Cody Prather, Matt Ball, Joe McElroy, Guillermo Gonzalez, and Jackson Orr. They've led the Fisherman Fellowship that we have before our Bassmaster events throughout the season. It's great that Bassmaster lets us all meet and have our fellowship. No matter what a person chooses to walk in their life, we're very grateful for that. Guys, welcome to Susquehanna. We've waited all year to be here. We're hosted out of Lewisburg, Pennsylvania by the Susquehanna River Valley Visitors Bureau. You can see the signage over here. And that signage does nothing compared to what this area actually is. Myself, I got up here on Wednesday evening with my buddy Kuth. And, I mean, I've driven through here before, but I literally could not believe what we were able to experience walking as we did as we got out. So, again, thank you to Lewisburg for hosting us, and we look forward to working in the future anytime that we can. This is a Yamaha Right Waters Bassmaster Kayak Series. We're powered by and on Tourney X, what we feel is the best tournament management system that we have. And we're proud to be partnered with Dwayne Wally going forward in our future. He's been a big supporter of, obviously, everything kayak related. We're partnered with Motor Guide, as you can see. We've got a lot of interesting things that we've done this season, leading up to not the only reason we're here, but a pretty big and it's a substantial one. What we're trying to get through is make it to the Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year. You know, you see our sign here. Tomorrow, everyone's going to start fishing, and they're going to race towards that $5,000 prize. So a lot of you've worked hard. You've done a great job supporting us on social media. Shared around. We're bringing new people into the sport and into tournament fishing, daily through what all you do. As with any good thing that we have, you can't do it without the people that support you. I'm just a person that puts sheets together and does scheduling and gets up here and talks. But without you all supporting and having the faith in our integrity and what we do at Bassmaster, we wouldn't be able to do this. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to reinvent, restructure where we need to. But above all else, what we'll do is listen to you. Without all your input, we wouldn't be able to put out what structure we think we have in this 2023 season. So continue to reach out to us there, and we will do our best to take all things into consideration, put it together, see where it can apply, and we'll just continue sharpening off the rough edges and continue to grow. Getting into your official angler briefing, the tournament water boundaries for October the 7th and 8th, 2023 on the Susquehanna River. The northernmost launch boundary is the Susquehanna Public Boat Ramp. The northwesternmost launch is the Montoursville Access and Boat Launch. The southernmost launch is the Riverfront Campground. On the Juanita River, the last legal boat launch is the PPBC Thompsontown Boat Access near the 333 bridge. You are allowed to advance above that area, but you cannot launch anywhere above that area. All launches from the Thompsontown Boat Access to the Susquehanna River are legal. So anything from that access point I mentioned down to the mouth of Juanita where it meets the Susquehanna River, public access, pay ramps, and legitimate boat ramps are available for you to use. All other tributaries that feed the Susquehanna, to be considered a legal launch, the launch must be a measured 1 mile from the mouth of that body of water where it meets the Susquehanna River. This is a launch boundary event. So once you launch, you are allowed to advance upriver or downriver from that launch area so long as you return back to your original launch area within bounds to take out. If you pass your launch area up within bounds, you can take out at another legal launch that is in the launch boundaries. If you've got any questions about any of that, give me a call, shoot me a message, and I'll give you a call. Get to the bank if you need to take out and text me or anything like that. You are able to launch again, as I mentioned, from your area and travel above, below, east, west, so long as you come back inbounds and take out. Throughout all of this, some anglers that are new to a river system, you are allowed to shuttle. And what that means is you can launch from a ramp, fish down to another ramp, take out, hop in a vehicle with another angler or person, and travel back to your original destination, so long as every ramp that you use is in bounds. So that's something that's pretty common in river fishing, because a lot of areas, once you get down so far, you may not be able to make it back up because the current's increased or things like that. So that's new. I live, on big lake areas, so that's something that I've not been able to experience yet. But I did get out here on the Susquehanna and poke around a good distance away from what your all's fishing water is, and I had a blast. I had heard about this for years, been waiting all year to get here, and it's pretty amazing to be here. So I'll keep talking about the fishing here because it's pretty amazing, but just want to thank all of you for giving us the opportunity to, host 150 of you up here as the season ends. For this series, we're a catch board only. Once you come to registration and have your boards checked, there's a sticker placed on that bump board that needs to be in your photos. You've been given an identifier. Probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but that identifier with all of the language on it is your day one identifier. That needs to be in the picture. There's a number on there for you, say 008. That's your day one identifier. That same identifier will be used for day two as well. So what will happen is on Saturday at around 7 p.m., you'll be notified that a unique identifier code has been generated. And what you'll do is you'll write that on that same card that's your day one identifier in the box that says day two. So that'll be a 3-digit code. You can put it in there. Also write it on your hand in case something happens with a glare or anything like that. You're given a backup identifier card as well. If something happens and you use your picture graphic card that you were given for your day one and day two identifier, give us a call and let us know. And you are allowed to use that identifier card as a backup identifier card. But again, if you lose them both, you are allowed to write that code, but I have to be able to see it clearly and visibly on your hand. If you've got a yellow catch board, I like to write it all over the board myself in a Sharpie marker, just so that gives me an opportunity to be able to see my identifier in all the places that are possible. As we've approached Friday, the registration is coming to an end here. Practice is over. So for the rest of this weekend, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you cannot access the water unless it's during tournament hours. And I'll go over those times in just a minute. But I will stress to you, once you have completed your day one of fishing and you've got your fish uploaded, your travel time can be lengthy, but you're expected to stop fishing and make it back to your takeout as quickly as possible. Again, obviously, but you do have to state things because we miss things. Once lines out is tomorrow, there's no more casting. Cut your baits off, put your rods up, whatever you have to do. If you click the bail and you've got a bait dragging behind your kayak, you've got a bait in the water. You have to pay attention to those types of things that happen accidentally that can cause you a penalty. That's just a sport of competitive things, period. So be mindful of that. Getting into your times for this weekend, Saturday, your launch time is 7 a.m. When you're at the ramp, you are allowed to put your kayak and your gear in the water, move your kayak out of the way, drag it back up on the bank. If you're in an area where there's a pool, you are allowed to get in your kayak and stay close proximity, anywhere from a foot to 10 foot from the bank. Obviously, at this time, you can't go and traverse back and forth and do any scanning. You can't have your tackle out. You can't, flip a bait in the water to stretch your line. All your rods and everything must stay stowed. No baits in the water. So you can do that, and above all else, be respectful of all the other anglers at the boat ramp. Don't put your vehicle in the middle of the boat ramp and rig it and wait on everybody, make everybody wait on you. Be mindful that there are other people who use this body of water for more than just fishing. be mindful of them at the boat ramp and everything. As you've all done, Mark Cisneros has got plenty of pictures of it. You all help one another at boat ramps. It's a very great thing to do for one another, and it builds the bond that we all have in the community. Help one another in and out of the water is a common thing, and it's really good to see. So once you've launched at the official 7 a.m. time, you have 30 minutes to kick upriver, motor downriver, wherever you're needing to go. You've got half an hour. So at 7:30 Eastern time, and make certain that you check all of your devices to be set on Eastern time, because that can trick you as well. At 7:30 a.m., you are allowed to make your first cast and start fishing. You'll fish for 8 hours until 3:30, and you have that 59 seconds of 3:30 to take your photograph of your fish. Once you've taken that photograph, and again, download the Bassmaster rules and read them in their entirety, there's a fish graphic on there that shows how your fish needs to be placed on your catch board. And that is with the mouth closed, facing left, touch the bump board, dorsal fin on the top of that board. You are allowed to pinch the tail, get it where you need it to be, place your hand inside of the green zone, which is just behind the eyeball and to the end of the tail. We need to see the eyeball of the fish. We need to be able to see the tail end of the lobe of the fish. Be careful with your camera angles. Take your pictures above. If you take your camera pictures like this, it can create an angle to where we can't see the part of the fish that we need to see, and that fish can be disqualified. Take multiple pictures. Take your best one, put it in your favorites folder. That's a trick that we all have learned over the years. Take a picture of the sky or something so that separates fish number one from fish number two. When you're done with fish number two, do the same practice. Now your fish are in order of some sort. But the key being, put one in the favorites folder if you're not going to upload it immediately, and then so on from there. So once you've done all of those great tricks and things to your fish, you've got 1 hour to get them uploaded. That's 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, as I mentioned on day one, you need to be making your way off the water. Give me a contact. I do have my vehicle here. I am available to help if there's an emergency kind of situation. We have the Susquehanna River Valleys Visitor Bureau on dial. We have the Susquehanna River Keepers on dial. The Pennsylvania Boat Work Commission, I think it may be, they're on dial here, so they're a very responsive group. So we will help you in any way that we can. Your time's on Sunday. Launches at 7, same as Saturday. Lines in at 7:30. Fish for 8 hours until 3:30. Fish submission 1 hour later, 4:30 p.m. I do stress, though, upload your fish as quickly as possible throughout the day. River tournaments, eat cell phones. You can drop them in the water. Now your catch is gone. I'm speaking mainly to the newer people in our sport, but we all need reminders of this too. So get your fish uploaded as quickly as possible. What that does is it allows us to notify you if there are any corrections needed. If you have a fish that's been penalized, you get the opportunity to submit another one. Well, if you wait until 4:30 to do that, that time window is most likely closed. You need to do that as early as possible because that just keeps the flow of the tournament. It's respectful of our judges, tournament directors, and the other anglers. So on Sunday, as I mentioned, we'll be crowning our Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year. They'll take home $5,000. Those awards will start at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want everybody to have time to make it here safely, but you all will be notified if you are in the money. And the sooner you get here, the easier and faster we can get awards started and get everybody home, because we've had anglers from Washington State, Canada, Florida, Texas. It's pretty amazing that you all have continued to support us and travel like you have. In the morning, a little bit of safety stuff to go over. It's going to be really foggy, like we went, Kuth and I, the other morning, about 2 hours south to fish, and we literally had to look at people's taillights to stay on the road. So be safe there. If you oversleep, hey man, just make it to the water safely. Don't do 104 like some of us do. And then so once you've launched, if you have a motor, I know you all understand, but I will repeat it. You have to have a 360 white light as well as the green and red navigation lights on your registered kayak. There are boat ramps here that require a permit fitting your kayak, whether it's registered or unregistered. That's your duty to figure that out. There's so many of those, it's impossible for us to do. Pay attention to the signage, use your phone, but just check on those areas. But once you've launched, it's going to be pretty foggy on the water too. It's opening day of duck season, so watch out for the boomers there. I'm glad I'm not fishing. I'd fall out of the kayak. I'm very jumpy, so just be mindful of that. There's going to be duck decoys. If you can go around them, I would do that, because just as we're passionate about fishing, they're equally as passionate or more fanatical in the duck hunting world. So, but above all else, watch your safety. They shoot bullets. We throw rattle traps. One hurts worse than the other. So be mindful where you're at. I've been told, especially around the grass islands, that's typically where a lot of that takes place. So anytime you come up to the point of an island, just start scanning, because that's typically where they're facing. So just be careful with all of that. And again, first thing you do if something happens is call 911. That's step one every time. And then, depending on the severity of it, call me. We'll get on board and see what we need to do. PFD's warned at all times. Pay attention to the area that you're in. I've mentioned it a minute ago. Some dams are posted. There's 200 feet berth above a dam so that you don't get sucked over. And below the dam where the foam is, there's 100 feet distance there so you don't get sucked in. That's not for every dam, because some dams are small, some dams are a danger. There are buoys that are in front of some of these bodies of water. Those buoys are a warning to let you know that there's a dam coming. Those buoys are, as I said, just a warning. Some states, that's a guardrail. This state isn't. You can cross over those buoys into your fishing waters, but you still have to adhere to the 100 feet from the foam rule. As again, I mentioned duck season. What we're fishing for, obviously, I'll keep saying it because I'm happy for it. Somebody's taking home $5,000 for the Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year race. And just to touch on some of those points, quite a few of them are here, as I mentioned on the other YouTube video some of you may have watched. In 10th place is Drew Gregory. 9th place from Georgia is Tom Kazmersky. 8th place from Arkansas, Garrett Morgan. In 7th place, Joshua Deal from Georgia. And we got Lance Burris from Missouri in 6th. Ohio's Eric Siddiqui is in 5th. 4th place is Marty Hughes from Nebraska. Third place is Greg DePalma from PA. Is that right? From PA? There's a lot of guys. I get Jersey and PA mixed up, and I get in trouble. I didn't know that was as big a deal as it is. Second place from Alabama is Nick Dyer. And this year's Bassmaster Kayak Series champion, Russ Snyders, is in first place. We've all done the math because that's what we love to do. Russ has an 11th or 14th, Nicole. What was your worst event? 12th or 13th, and Russ is dang near the GOAT, but he can have bad days. So fish hard, make him sweat. Come after this Angler of the Year. Come after this Angler of the Year title. But Russ, as I mentioned, he has an event that isn't very poor. That's a very good finish. So I'm just looking at what I do. Other people below him have to place in the single digits, like 3rd, 4th, or 5th, to overtake his lead. So it can happen. We're going to be excited to watch it. Not meaning to put much pressure on you, Russ, but I know you appreciate the excitement of it all as well as I do. And then once that's over, the top 5 from this event will get to go on to the Bassmaster Classic Kayak Series Championship on Lake Tenkiller in Oklahoma, backyard to Brad Case. We're grateful to be able to get there. The Tahlequah Chamber of Tourism are happy to have us there. And then once we're done there, early next week, we'll have our schedule out. It's all booked. We're happy about it. We're stoked. And then we'll also go through the Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year standings. And those who already have qualified from the season's 5 events, we'll go into that Angler of the Year list from Dakota Lithium and pull out 50 more. And those are the people that will qualify for the Bassmaster Championship, as I mentioned, on Tenkiller. So, again, thank all of you for what you do that allows us to do what we get to do. I'm, more than humbled by the support that you all give us and the kind words, and the fact that you continue to show up. It says a volume of more than about anything. So tomorrow I'll be tuning in, or you guys tune in on the Facebook on the Bassmaster Kayak Series page. I'll do some live updates throughout the day. I'm going to try to get out with Big Worm Mark Cisneros and do some stuff on the water. Talk to some people at the boat ramps possibly. And then Sunday, when we're done, we'll do the same thing on Sunday, as I mentioned, live throughout the day. And then on Sunday, we'll be right back here on YouTube Live to do the award ceremony as quick as all our anglers get here. We'll crown that Dakota Lithium Angler of the Year, and we'll give out the checks to the top 15 in this event and Big Bass, and you'll get to take home your catch trophies. So thank all of you for watching. If you have any questions, as always, call me. It's way better than messaging. It's way faster to get a reply. If you can't do that, you all have my phone number. The text message is the easiest thing to get through on low signal. Main thing for your weekend is to be safe. Make sure your camera lens is clean. You've taken good pictures, and don't fall out. So appreciate all of you coming. Thank you again to Susquehanna River Visitors Bureau and Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, and everything else that Motor Guide, Tourney X, Catch Products, and Dakota Lithium have done for us this year. That's the end of your briefing for the Yamaha Right Waters Bassmaster Kayak Series Lake Susquehanna event. Be safe, and thank all of you.